Hello and welcome. This is Isra Magdi from English So. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the present perfect tense. And we have a question at the end of the episode, so don't miss it. First of all, let's answer the question of the previous episode, which is what does it mean by I'm not infallible? Actually, the word infallible is the opposite of the word fallible. And this is an adjective which means never wrong or never failing. So if you're infallible, it means that you never make mistakes or you're always right, which is impossible because all of us make mistakes. Even experts are not infallible.
I'm not infallible. I can miss it.
And make mistakes. I'm not infallible.
Now let's talk about the present perfect tense. But I want you to bring a pen and paper because I'm going to play some videos and you will write down any sentence contains has or have plus a past participle verb. And I think you know what is the past participle verb. It's like written, eaten, gone, and so on. It's okay if you need to replay them once more, or you can pause it in order to be able to write them down. Let's see.
Put those old Christmas classics back up on the shelves. We've got new tales of giving and loving and elves. In our first Yuletide story, two stars are on ice. They've been best friends forever, so cordial and nice.
Love's gonna pick you off. So I'm kind of in a bit of a time crunch.
I've been here for 8 count, especially Valentina.
Just let me find that coin. I know I have one here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Oh, who am I kidding? I don't have a coin. I don't have anything left. I lost it all betting on pigs.
Pigs, you say?
I should have stopped, but I thought I could win it all back. Do you ever feel like the universe is working against you?
It sounds like you're the one working against you.
My wife said that too, just before she left me.
So the sentences are I have lost it, I've been here for 8 count, they've been best friends forever. From these sentences we can know the form of the tense, or what does it look like. It actually consists of a subject, has or have, and the main verb in the past participle form. And this is no problem for regular past forms because for regular past verbs, the past participle form is the same as the simple past. For example, watch becomes watched, laugh, laughed, dance, danced. And even some irregular verbs use the same verb for the past simple as the past participle form. For example, have, had, buy, bought. And I think I don't need to say that I, we, you, they take have. She, he, it take has. They're contracted to I've, we've, you've, they've, she's, his, its. The present perfect tense has several uses. One of them is for an action which started in the past and continues up to the present, especially with the state verbs such as be, have, like, know, etc. In this case, we often use for and since. For example, Jennifer has had the dog for 3 years. Here it means that she has the dog 3 years ago, and she still has it. We also use the present perfect tense for an action which happened at an unstated time in the past. The exact time is not mentioned because it's either unknown or unimportant. The emphasis is placed on the action itself. For example, I've been to China. My parents have returned from there. John has bought a sailing boat. She has not been to Brazil. Here the exact time is not mentioned because it's either unknown or unimportant. What's important is the fact itself. It's also used to talk about something that has recently finished and whose result is visible in the present. For example, Rami's broken his arm so he can't go on holiday. There has been an accident on the main road, so let's take a different route. Repeated actions in unspecified times in the past is one of its uses. For example, I have been to London twice. Paul hasn't traveled outside his country so many times. Here I can use some time expressions like once, twice, several times, and so on. We can use the present perfect tense to talk about life experiences. For example, I've been to Indonesia. She has never eaten sushi. What countries have you visited? Has she ever climbed the Eiffel Tower? No, she hasn't.
It'll be amazing if you tell me about an experience for you in the comments below. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos.
Now let's see how the yes or no questions in the present perfect tense look like. We put has or have at the beginning of the question, then we put a subject and a past participle verb. For example, have you studied English? You have to know that the adverb ever is common in the present perfect tense. Let's have a look at this dialogue. Have you ever fallen out of bed while sleeping? Yes, I have, and I have woken up on the floor. We also can form a WH question in the present perfect tense. The question consists of the question word, has or have, then the subject, and the past participle verb. Let's see some examples. Why have you come here? How many times have you been here? How much money have you spent? Where have you been? Why haven't you brought a map? Related to the question word who, the word order is the same as in the statement, such as who has lived abroad? Julia has lived abroad. Who hasn't taken any pictures? No one has. Ever, never, just, already, recently, still, and yet. All these words are time expressions for the present perfect tense. In the questions, we can use ever and already. Ever means at any time. It comes before the past participle, so I can say, have you ever been to the British Museum? Already means before now. It may come before the past participle or at the end of the question. So I can say, have you already been to the British Museum? Or, have you been to the British Museum already? Yet means up to now. It's usually placed at the end of the question, such as, have you visited the British Museum yet? In the affirmative statements, we can use just. Just refers to the very recent past. It comes before the past participle, so I can say, I've just visited that museum. We can use already and recently in the affirmative statements too. They usually come before the past participle or at the end of the sentence. For example, I can say, I've already tried Chinese food, or I've tried Chinese food already. I can also say, I've recently played that game, or I've played that game recently. In the negative statements, we use never, yet, and still. Never means not at any time. It must come before the past participle. So I can say, I've never watched that movie. We also have yet. It usually comes at the end of a negative statement. For example, I haven't watched that movie yet. Related to still, it means up to now. Still comes before has or have, such as, I still haven't watched that movie.
Now our question, What does it mean by I can't place you?